Now we will begin the Eagle Court of Honor portion of our evening. I will invite Simon Hajoltason to the podium for the invocation.
God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as family, friends, leaders, and fellow scouts on this significant day in the life of Daniel, Kyle, and August. Today is a celebration of a journey full of challenges, friendship, struggles, and occasionally a little fun. Today, we think of all the merit badges earned along the way, the oaths committed to, the characters these young men developed, and the service to our community these three worked so hard to bring about. Little by little, month by month, and year by year, they were faithful and we celebrate their faith, commitment, and hard work. So, we ask for your blessing on Daniel, Kyle, and August, their families who supported and encouraged them, and their fellow scouts who helped them along the way. Bless the scout leaders, Troop 31, and all those who are here physically or in spirit. Continue to walk with Daniel, Kyle, and August as they take these next steps in becoming the scouts and the people you desire them to be.
When a boy becomes a Boy Scout, there is within him something that we call the spirit of scouting. This single lighted candle before you represents that spirit, because the spirit of scouting embodies the principles of the Scout Oath and law. It becomes a shining beacon of inspiration. Alone, this light may seem feeble, but when multiplied by the millions of boys in scouting around the world, it is powerful indeed. We will now use the light from the Spirit of Scouting candle to give recognition to our American flag. The red of my flag is the lifeblood of brave men and women ready to die or worthily live for this, our country. The white of my flag is for purity, cleanliness of purpose, thought, word, and deed. The blue of my flag is for faith and loyalty, like the eternal blue of the star-filled heavens. By the authority vested in me as representative of the Chester County Council of the Boy Scouts of America, I declare this Eagle Court of Honor for Daniel Dembek, Kyle Darcy, and August Kannenberg to be duly convened. I now call to the podium Assistant Scoutmaster, Mr. Vitale.
Thank you, Shane. Tonight, we have the honor and pleasure of recognizing Daniel Dembek, Kyle Darcy, and August Kannenberg with the award of Eagle Scout. Their parents and the Scout leaders have labored long and faithfully to determine within them the character, leadership, and citizenship qualities so important to the Boy Scout program. All of their efforts culminate this evening in the presentation of the Eagle Award. The success of these efforts, however, will only be manifest in the way these Eagle Scouts utilize these qualities with those whose lives they touch in the future. Eagle candidates Daniel Dembek, Kyle Darcy, and August Kannenberg, please approach the stage, be seated, and be prepared to receive the highest rank conferred by the Boy Scouts of America, that of Eagle Scout. Mr. Coe.
Daniel, Kyle, and August. In a moment, we will confer on the three of you the award of Eagle Scout. However, I am sure you will all agree that some special people should have the privilege of standing with you and in some measure share in this high honor. At this time, I would ask you to each please escort your parents to the table. You might want to have 2 sets and 1 set. Let's get crowded around here. We now proclaim to the entire world your accomplishments. The symbols of your success are the Eagle Badge and neckerchief, which will now be presented by your parents. You may place the Eagle neckerchief on your scout. No one will ever know the endless acts of sacrifice and helpfulness from the mothers of these Eagle Scouts, which has led us up to this night. As a symbol of what these mothers have made possible, we now ask you Scouts to present them with an Eagle Scout mom pin, which they will wear over their heart as a symbol of your efforts. This is the point where I normally would tell the boys to be very careful they don't stab their mom in the heart. However, I think I've been saying this so long that now all the moms are prepared with great big thick sweaters. Very good, Mom. Well prepared. Your fathers have also stood by you over the years and have offered their encouragement and assistance. As a symbol of what they have contributed to your attainment of this award, we now ask you to present them with an Eagle Scout Dad pin, which they will wear proudly to remember your teamwork and the time you spent together. Daniel, Kyle, and August, please escort your parents back to their seats and return to your seat. Mr. Dembek.
Daniel, Kyle, and August, I have the honor to give you your Eagle Charge on the occasion of your elevation to the highest rank in Scouting. The Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most wholesome and significant movements in the world's history. You've been judged by the Boy Scouts of America of being worthy of the highest rank in this great movement. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. Your position, as you know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are distinguished men. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to your country, to your fellow Scouts, and to mankind in general. This is a great undertaking, As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your other scouts. America has many good things to give you in future generations, but these good things depend for the most part on the quality of our citizens. Our country has had a great past, and you can help make the future even greater. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only towards the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and to your fellow man. Live and serve so that those who know you will be an inspiring to finer living. We have too many who use their strengths and their brains to exploit others and to gain self-ends. I charge you all to be among those who dedicate their skills and ability to the common good. Build America on the solid foundation of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. And whatever others may do, you will leave behind a record of which every other scout may be justly proud. And now Matt, Mitch, and Jonathan will present the Eagle Scout promise.
So now the fun part. So would all the Eagle Scouts present this evening in the audience please stand and come forward to stand behind Daniel, Kyle, and August to show your solidarity and support for these new Eagle Scouts as they make the Eagle Scout promise. Your conduct along the trail has been excellent, but one more thing is important, your future. As an Eagle Scout, you become a guide to the other Scouts of a lower rank. You become an example in your community. Remember that your actions are now a little more conspicuous, and people will expect more of you. To falter in your responsibility would not only reflect upon you, but on your fellow Eagles and all of Scouting. I challenge you to enter into the Eagle Brotherhood, holding ever before you, without reservation, the ideals of honor and service, by the repetition of the Eagle Scout promise before your fellow members. You will become an Eagle Scout. Though the words you use are similar to those by which you joined Scouting, they will mean more now than they could have meant at any time in the past. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your external loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout.
Daniel, Kyle, and August, please stand, make the Scout sign, and repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of the rank of Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example, my rank and my influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship. In my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. By the authority vested in me, and with all the Eagle Scouts present here tonight, it is my privilege to pronounce you guys Eagle Scouts. May the oath you have just taken remain graven on your heart forever. I'd now like to bring Mr. Coe for some Scouting statements.
I was remiss earlier in not mentioning that we have 3 boys going to the Eagle Boards this week. Charles, Will, and Joel, you want to take a stand and say hi to everybody? Stand up. They are going to the Eagle Board on this Wednesday at Pennsbury at 6:45. We could use another 1 or 2 people to sit on that board if you'd like. It's a great opportunity to find out a little more about this whole Eagle opportunity. Okay, guys, I have to tell you that I'm kind of mixed feelings tonight about you guys here. I'm both happy and sad to see you receiving your Eagle tonight. Sad because I enjoyed your participation in Troop 31, watching you progress in the Trail to Eagle. But happy you all made it. And happy to watch the 3 of you grow from little weeblos to young men about to take on the world. Sad because I will miss your contributions to the troop and your influence on those coming behind you. But happy that you left good leadership and teaching examples for those behind you to follow. It is fitting the 3 of you tonight are celebrating these accomplishments together, since you did so many of your ex-scout activities together. All 3 of you went to Philmont and Sea Base the same years. Kyle and Dan did their NYLT together. All of you did physically challenging and rewarding Eagle projects, and all of you were involved in other people's Eagle projects. Dan, I remember you as a younger, not quite sure yourself scout, who didn't seem to know if he was ready or wanted to take on the challenge of NYLT. You not only did it, but you did it so well, you were invited and attended the Advanced Leadership Challenge in Washington. That's extraordinary. A now more confident scout came home and did a wonderful job helping the senior scouts. You have gone on virtually all the different outings we do, and it's obvious you enjoy them. You are a fine example of younger scouts by taking full advantage of all that Scouts offers, enjoying it and becoming a better person as it is. We will all miss you wandering around keeping up with the parking activities at Chad's Ford days in a pumpkin car, too. Kyle, I remember you as a very shy weeblo who seemed as if he was challenged more by his own perception of his size than confidence of his abilities. You grew through the ranks, grew in confidence, and grew in size. I'm not sure at what point you realized your abilities outstripped your size, but wow, did you blossom from there. Your confidence, accomplishments, and leadership have been second to none. While I know you plan to major in computer science, you probably know you could also be a makeup artist in horror movies based on your makeup and costume for first aid. All of you were impressive, but I really loved your severed limbs costumes. August, you've been right there with him and always showed leadership and a willingness to help accomplish whatever job needed to be done. Even as a young scout, you helped whenever there were things to get done. While you and I may not have always had the time to show a lot of conversation with each other because you weren't one of the senior leaders, believe me, I know that you could always be counted on, and one of the things I always appreciated about you was the fact that whenever something needed to be done, we asked you, it got done. And believe me, that's a skill that not every scout has, and we really appreciate it. So gentlemen, on behalf of Troop 31 and Scouts, I want to thank you so much for your contributions, and congratulations. Good luck in the future.
First of all, I really appreciate it. Okay. I really appreciate everyone coming out tonight to support August, Daniel, and me in achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. Throughout my life, I've heard countless times that it's all about the journey rather than the destination, and I really believe that to be true. I'm so grateful for the journey that Scouts has given me, and especially grateful for the opportunity to be a part of this troop. It has given me lifelong friendships, adventures I would have never had the opportunity to experience, and it's taught me so much that will help me for the rest of my life. As much as I enjoyed Cub Scouts, I was more than excited to cross over into Boy Scouts. Although I really didn't put much thought into thinking of picking a troop to join. I just followed my friends like Daniel and Will to what turned out to be the most awesome troop I could have asked for. Within a week of joining, I already met more great friends like August and Shane. The very first outing I went on, East Greenville, I remember watching the older scouts prepare dinner when a propane tank tipped over, and I got to witness a fireball spew out from the Coleman stove reducing. I don't remember his Christmas. Yeah. This is when I really caught on to the fact that things don't always go as planned, especially when being scout-led. However, I do remember Chris Vitale calmly taking control of the situation and tipping the propane bottle back up. If all the outings were this exciting, I knew that Troop 31 was right for me. My first Brandywine canoe trip, I remember needing to set up a tent for the first time, and Matt Candy took the time to come over and help me set it up. This really meant a lot to me that one of the senior scouts offered to help, and I started to feel like part of the troop at this point. Just a few months later, I was canoeing down the Delaware River right alongside Dominic Ferentinos, and he was standing up in the canoe, paddling like he was in Venice on a gondola. Like many of the senior scouts, Dominic was creative and really put effort into making the outings fun. Camp Rodney was another great first experience that made for a memorable summer. Before that, I didn't know much about sailing, but by the end of the week, I was definitely hooked. Ripping around in the Chesapeake on a sunfish with Shane August and David Starnes really made me want to buy a boat. And years later, after a whole lot of preparation, I was finally at Philmont. In spite of the hailstorm, lightning, and days of rain we faced early on, I found myself standing at the top of Mount Baldy at over 12,000 feet with Shane August and Bradley. And it was one of the most awesome feelings of accomplishment. I got to really appreciate the value of all the preparation we did, which made my venture to Philmont really special. The next summer, I was able to follow that up with another high adventure trip to Sea Base, and oddly enough, this trip also started out with a lightning storm on day one. But soon enough, we were sailing and snorkeling in the beautiful Florida Keys. I can remember swimming under a channel marker, unable to see Shane or August just a few feet away, because there were fish, thousands of fish engulfing us. And it was truly an amazing experience that I wouldn't have had without scouting. One of my biggest accomplishments is my Eagle Project. Again, an opportunity that Scouts gave me to lead, plan, and build a paver walkway. And after spending long hours planning the project, it really felt good to get all the help and see it come together. It still makes me happy to drive by the project every day, even though I finished it over a year ago. So to all you Scouts out there, scouting's been so good for me, and I really want to encourage you to take advantage of all the great opportunities this troop has to offer. Thank you, Mr. Coe, for your unbelievable time commitment and dedication to this troop, your guidance in helping me learn leadership skills and always being there for me. I would also like to thank the assistant scoutmasters and parent volunteers for everything they do for this troop. And thank you to my parents for always being supportive of scouting and doing everything they could to help. And I really appreciate the senior scouts before me, especially Matt and Mitch Candy, Chris Vitale, and Jonathan Dembek. You guys really did a lot to set a great tone for the scouting experience. And I want to thank everyone that helped bring my project to life too. Couldn't have done it without you guys. And finally, I want to make a special acknowledgement to someone who's been so supportive of me throughout Boy Scouts, and especially during the Eagle Project. His guidance was invaluable throughout the complete process, and I really can't thank him enough. I'm pleased to present my mentor pin to Mr. Dembek.
I would like to thank everybody for taking their time to come out here and enjoy this wonderful co-runner with me, Kyle, and Daniel. And first off, I would like to go ahead and appreciate everyone who has helped me out through this scouting experience and kind of carried me through scouting, such as Sajad, Joel, Will, Shane, Kyle, and Daniel. They kind of just helped me out through the process. And then I have so many great memories. One of my favorite memories is Philmont, because even though we had a lot of trying times through the rain and hail, we kind of winged it and got our tents up at the time. And Sea Base was another good one because there was so many amazing sights to see and fish, and just snorkeling with my friends was a really great time. And then winning the horseshoe canoe contest with Thomas and Will, that was just the highlight of my horseshoe scouting experience. Kind of the underdogs on that one. I don't expect us to win. And so I would like to award my mentor pin to Mr. Dembek for all of the help he has given me and throughout my scouting experience and the Eagle process.
Hello, everybody. First, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out to support me and Kyle and August for our achievement here tonight as Eagle Scouts, and also the younger Scouts and getting their merit badges and rank advancements, which we know are just as important. Instead of reminiscing on past experiences, because we've probably heard all of them at this point, I'd like to say something to the younger Scouts who are here tonight, especially those who are on their phone, not listening to a word I'm saying. Because I used to be just like you. I used to dread being dragged to every meeting and outing. No matter where I was, I just wanted to be at home. At every scouting event, I endlessly told my peers about my plans to quit scouting, and how my evil father was the only reason I was still in scouting. If you ask anyone about my chances of getting the rank of Eagle Scout, they'd probably say slim to none. There came a day where I told my father, for the 1,000,000th time, that I wanted to quit scouting, and he told me I could quit after one final adventure, Florida Sea Base. Sea Base came and went, and I was faced with the opportunity that I had wanted for several years prior, or so I thought. I don't know what overcame me, if my passion for Scouts was finally blooming, if I wanted to break everyone's expectations of me quitting Scouts, or if I just didn't want to disappoint my father, but I decided to stay. Since then, by my own volition, I attended NYLT Leadership Academy in Washington, D.C., and staffed NYLT, and it's done more for me than I could ever put into words. My advice for the younger Scouts here tonight, as easy as it is to say and hard to follow, keep on going on, because this program will do more for us than we could ever understand. Before I get to my mentor pin, I'd like to thank the people who have helped me get to where I am today. Of course, I could have never gotten anywhere without my lovely parents, who constantly push me to be the best I could possibly be. I'd like to also thank Mr. Coe, Mr. Dulick, Mr. Vitale, Mr. Shekels, and all the other adults that spend countless hours making this organization and troop as great as it is. For my mentor pin, I'd like to recognize someone who has been a constant throughout my scouting career, being SPL when I was younger, Lodge Chief when I joined the OA, NYLT SPL when I was a participant, and then an adult as a staff member. And someone who's helped me through the toughest challenges I've faced participating in this program, Matt Candy. Last, we have Simon Keltison with the benediction once more.
Dear God, an Eagle Scout Corps of Honor marks the end of one journey and the commitment to another. A commitment to better scouting, where all might participate, better citizenship, and a better example of leadership. Bless all of Daniel, Kyle, and August's future endeavors. May we all be committed to scouting ideals which instruct us to lead better lives. May we always seek the obvious and find the unknown. May we always follow our own trails. God be with us until we meet again. Amen.
As we put out this white candle representing purity, may we be ever mindful of the obligation that a scout is clean. He is clean in body and thought, stands for clean speech, clean sports, clean habits, and travels with a moral crowd. As we put out this blue candle representing loyalty, may we be ever mindful of the obligation that a scout is loyal. He is loyal to all to whom loyalty is due, his scout leaders, his home, his parents, and his country. As we put out this red candle representing courage and sacrifice, may we be ever mindful of our obligation that a scout is brave. He has the courage to face danger in spite of fear, and to stand up to the right against the coaxing of friends and the jeers or threats of enemies, and defeat does not doubt him. To the call of Tanner.
I declare this Eagle Court of Honor closed. Thank you all very much for attending. Before you leave tonight, I will need all the scouts to put away chairs. I now invite Joey Brunn forward to play taps. Thank you.
Coach